Hello community! Yes, today we talk about the perfect prompt for your AI system, for your large language model. And here we go. And the best way to start is of course on the internet. And here you have Matt and he says, hey, this is probably the most useful Claude 3 prompt I've ever written. And it gives you here a role and a response format and an overview and some challenges. And then he wants that the system comes up with solutions. So solution 1, the first potential solution. Solution 2, the second potential solution. And solution 3, the third potential solution. And yeah, you get an idea and you say, hey, this happened yesterday, March 8, 2024, and has 200,000 views. And you think, is it possible that we can improve on this prompt? So thanks to Matt for providing this for free on the internet. And if you want to have here his complete prompt, beautiful, this is his handle. Go there, use it if you want, beautiful. But if you notice, there is something. Because look at the analysis for the solution, how he talks to the machine. It says, hey, solution analysis start, and then here end solution 1 analysis. And we have here analysis of pros and cons of solution 1. And then in the next line, we have solution 2 analysis start. And then we have analysis of pros and cons of solution 2 and end of solution 2 analysis. And then you get the idea. There is something we can really optimize here. So if now a human, oh no, this is the wrong picture. Sorry, this is about later in the talk when the AI machine thinks about, my goodness, how can I explain this to the human operator? Wait, yeah, this is the image we are talking about. You see here me beautifully here. Yes, I'm the human trying to talk to the machine. And I'm thinking, my goodness, why does not the machine understand me? Why I have to reformulate and find here the perfect prompt. So let's go with this scenario. Now, you know that I'm a simple person, so I go to GPT-4 Turbo Extra Beautiful and I say, hey, you design the perfect prompt for a GPT system. I know you are a GPT system. Maybe include some XML syntax to find 3 solutions for a given task by me. Prompt should include a step-by-step explanation of the task at hand, analyze associated risk, and finally give a risk indicator for all 3 solutions. And then give me a simple prompt. So I ask the machine to generate for itself a simple prompt and a really advanced XML-based prompt. You know, we have a machine, so why not let the machine do the work for us? Why should we think? And ChatGPT-4 Turbo Beautiful comes back and says, hey, of course, you know, this particularly for complex tasks, this is difficult. So the approach can be bifurcated into a simple prompt and an advanced XLM prompt, catering to different levels of complexity and specificity. And you say, yeah, beautiful. So let's look at this ultimate simple prompt design by the machine. And here you have it. It's 3 sentences. Please provide 3 solutions to the following task. And now we insert here then a task description. And then we say, hey, for each solution, perform a step-by-step analysis on how it can be implemented. And then identify potential risk associated with each solution and provide a risk indicator based on the likelihood and impact of the risks. And you might say, unbelievable. Only a machine can up with this beautiful prompt structure. But you know what? What I'm really looking forward for is the perfect XML-based prompt structure. And you know, it is so simple. Look at this. You have the beginning of the prompt and the end of the prompt. Then you have the beginning of a task description, and here you have the end of the task description. And in between those, we have described the task here, include any specific constraints or requirement. Then we have, for example, right, whatever you like, the solution requirements and the end of the solution requirements. Provide 3 distinct solutions. Then we have the analysis procedure and the end of the analysis procedure. And you say, my goodness, I do think I discover a pattern here. And then you go to the risk assessment and the end of the risk assessment. And now we have here, imagine we have an introduction and an end of the introduction. We have risk factors and the end of the risk factors and a risk indicator and the end of the risk indicator. And you say, hey, I think I got an idea. It is just a structured approach for the machine so that the machine understands everything. But this is just my theory, so let's explore them. Let's verify this. And here you have my task, a beautiful task. Analyze the potential of achieving AGI through LLMs. Yes, I know, it's a beautiful task. Now, if you think about other tasks, hey, Anthropic is here to help you. And for example, we have here the task of an airport code analyst. And you say, hey, what is the task? Find and extract airport codes from the text. And Anthropic gives you here a schema and says, hey, the content is for the system prompt. Hey, your task is to analyze the provided text and identify any airport codes mentioned within. Present airport code as a list in the order they appear in the text. If no airport codes are found, return an empty list. And then you have here the user prompt. Says, hey, my next trip involves flying from Seattle Tacoma International Airport to Amsterdam Airport Schiphol. I'll be spending a few days in Amsterdam before heading to Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport for the connecting flight to Rome Fiumicino International Aeroporto. And then if you have here an API and you want to pay for the API, I understand this, you have here the Python script. So here you say import Anthropic, here the client, yes, your API key that you pay for. And then we have here the message. So create, we take the model, the Claude 3 Opus, maximum number of token, temperature 0.0, okay. Then we have here the system prompt to say, hey, your task is to provide text to identify any airport code. And you say, wow, this is unbelievable. And then you have here in the message the role of a user, and you say exactly this sentence we just saw, and then print. Or you go with TypeScript, and TypeScript looks exactly like this. So you see, you have all the possibilities in the world. Here another example. If you want to be a corporate cleverer, you want to extract insights, identify risk, and distill key information from long corporate reports in a single memo. How would you write a prompt? And Anthropic is here to help you. And it says, hey, the task is to analyze the following report. Please string copy here the report. And then you're not going to believe the prompt is going to be summarize this annual report in a concise and clear manner and identify key market trends and takeaway. Output your findings as a short memo I can send to my team. The goal of the memo is to ensure my team stays up to date on how financial institutions are faring and qualitatively forecasting and identify whether there are any operating revenue risks. Beautiful. So here you have the report, and then again, Anthropic helps you here with Python. And you see now in the message text you have here download PDF, and here you have the complete report. Here you have, I don't know, 10,000 of characters that you put here in one line, a real intelligent way to do it. So you see, if you are not sure, if you have a task, how to write it, Anthropic is here to help you. And if you look at the prompt library, you're gonna be amazed, because look what you can do. And they have formulated the prompt for you. Like, for example, here the airport code analyst that we had a look at. And you see, it is so simple here to formulate your perfect prompt. But can we improve on this? Yeah, of course we can. But before, I have to show you the result of our simple prompt. So this is here the simple prompt from GPT-4 Turbo. Beautiful. And there you have it. Solution 1, evolutionary architecture. Identify limitation of current LLMs in context to AGI and develop an evolutionary architecture. Beautiful. Solution 2, federated learning. Yes, of course. Solution 3, symbolic integration. Have a look at this. So you develop models that combine LLM learning capabilities with symbolic reasoning, enabling abstract thinking and complex solving. Yes, of course. I was asked, hey, if I have different characters, what if I have here, instead of a parenthesis, I have some quotation marks? Let's do it. Let's just find it out. Hey, now we have architectural innovation. 1, 2, embodied cognition. 3, emotional intelligence integrated in our LLM. But of course, you are waiting here for the advanced XML prompt. Just notice that here the machine did not only create here a beautiful XML structure for the prompt, but the machine also optimized here the semantic content of our task description. So you see, suddenly we have focus on technological feasibility, ethical consideration, and scalability. That was now inserted as new text fragments here in the task. And this is different from my simple task description. So given here that the machine should generate an advanced prompt, it generated here also a better task description and not only a better XML prompt structure. So let's have a look at both and then we find out what's what. Great. So here we have solution 1, advanced model scaling and diversification. Increase the computational power, the energy resources, and large-scale data set, more power. Solution 2, cross-disciplinary integration of embodied intelligence. Of course, sensor technology, human-like reasoning, of course, it's more or less always the same. But this, especially if you look at the risk assessment, this is more detailed. Okay, and then I ask, hey, GPT-4, beautiful. I want my simple prompt structure just converted to an XML notation without that you modify my text of the task description or my solution requirement or my introduction for my risk assessment. So GPT-4 beautiful comes back and says, okay, this is it. So let's run this. And you see architecture enhancement, yeah, implement new neural network architecture, improve the model ability to generalize from limited data, akin to human cognitive flexibility. Okay, yeah, risk assessment, a little bit less text on risk assessment, a little bit less specific, but you see, you can go here with almost every solution. Now, quite a group of my subscribers ask here, hey, I don't want to see always GPT-4 Turbo beautiful. What about Claude 3 Opus beautiful? Here we go, Claude 3. And I put in now the prompt, and you see here, Claude 3 Opus, beautiful. Thank you here for the Arena chatbot from LM-Sys, great job. And here we have it. So I put in here the prompt, as I just showed you. Here you see again now the prompt. And there you have 3 potential solutions, solution 1, solution 2, with the risks associated. So this is now the prompt with the solution by Opus 3, Claude 3 Opus. So I take now the simple prompt, just convert it to XML notation, and I want to find out, hey, is there any difference on Opus? Easy. Please note that the output, I copied this prompt with the XML notation. And what's interesting here is LM-Sys gives you back here then, after inputted my prompt here, gives you this. This is then what the machine makes out of my prompt. And here you have the answer by the machine. So in this intermediate step here, that's happening here only on LM-Sys, interestingly, you see here that the machine, given this prompt structure, output this prompt structure for me as a feedback. But I don't know if what of those 2 prompt structures it used internally to generate the solution. Interesting question, by the way. Yeah, okay, this is here the answer number 1. This is here solution 2 and solution 3. Have a look at it, whatever you prefer. Go with the model you prefer. But then, of course, we want to see the advanced, complex XML structured prompt. So we go here with the advanced formulation here. The semantic context has an increased complexity and with the XML structure. And let's see what Claude 3 Opus makes out of it. You see at first here the reinterpretation of our prompt. And then here we have Claude 3 Opus tells us, here's my analysis of the potential of achieving HUI through LLMs. Scaling up LLMs to human-level performance, and you say, wow, by significant advancement in model size, training data, and compute power. More power is all we need. Solution 1, and you're not going to believe it, solution 2 and solution 3. So I would say more or less the same structure, the same kind of response. And you might say, okay, so, and now? Well, and now we have intelligence on the computer and we say, hey, Claude 3 Opus, can you optimize my prompt I used last time? And I inserted here an improved syntax. Can you do this and enable more insight, but with the identical text? So can you here improve here on the structure of my prompt? And I do this here on the system that I will execute the prompt on. So there could be specific preferences if you go with GPT-4 Beautiful, or if I want to use Claude 3 Opus, I stay in Claude 3 Opus. I put in my prompt, my complex HTML prompt, and I say, hey, can you improve it? Can you optimize this prompt? And Opus comes back and says, hey, certainly, here's an optimized version of your prompt with improved syntax for more insights. And now I understand that this system here used my XML structure because, look, it even added more structure to it. So it was aware of the way I wanted it and not just some 3, 4, 5 plain English sentences. Interesting to watch out here with LM-Sys. Great. So let's have a look here. So what we have, and you notice we have solution requirement and end of solution requirement. And we have here the number of solution, 3, end of number of solution. And you say, is it that possible to have here like a form, like a sheet that is given with a given structure, that if I want to have 8 solution, I just put in 8 solution and I don't write like at the beginning of my video I showed you with Matt, that you write 8 times the same sentence. It is that easy. And now you understand where XML prompt structure comes in if you have exactly this kind of task. And then you can be absolutely deterministic and you say, hey, I wanted you focus on 3 solution criteria. Solution criteria start, end of solution criteria. And then I have here criterion 1, end of criterion. Criterion, end of criterion. Criterion, you get the idea. So I want here that the whole is analyzed for distinctiveness, comprehensiveness, and innovativeness. And then I start my analysis procedure. And I have my analysis steps, and I have my step that I can define with my title. And I can define factors within this step, or you leave it up to the machine. So here you have here now for the analysis procedure, the complete prompt. Maybe I leave it in the description of this video if you want to play around with for yourself. But just ask the system to generate it for you. This is the best way to do. And then I just want also my risk assessment. And here you have now the beginning of risk assessment and the end of risk assessment. So this here is now my new advanced prompt done by by Claude 3 Opus. Now, here, for example, if we look now at the risk assessment, it says, hey, analyze each solution, identify possible risk, including now, and now you have points. And now you can go in the risk factors and override this with your ideas. So instead of computational requirements, you can insert whatever you want. And then maybe you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe just 2 considerations like scalability or energy consumption or whatever you want to insert. You can write here this simple form sheet so that you can write here, if you have number of solution 8 or 16, for example, you always have here a comparable structure, a coherent answer. And I said, hey, you know me, I'm interested in this. And I said, hey, Claude 3 Opus, what kind of notation is this for the prompt that you're using? And Claude comes back and says, hey, it is an optimized prompt, is an XML-like structure. XML, as you know, is a markup language that defines a set of rules for encoding documents in a format that is both human-readable and machine-readable. And the key characteristics of the XML notation include tags, nested elements, descriptive tag names, and closing tags. Using here this XML-like notation for the prompt has several advantages: clarity, extensibility, machine readability, standardization. And it says, hey, while the notation used is not strictly valid plain vanilla XML, it borrows many of its key principles to create a structured and organized representation of the prompt requirement. And here you see why I told you, go with the system you're going to use here for inference, because this system knows what it is able to do. It will give you something that has been extensively pre-trained and maybe fine-tuned on the training data set. There was a lot of this structure. So if the machine comes back and tells you, hey, this is the structure I prefer, why not go with this recommendation by the machine? Because you, as a hyper-intelligent human being, you want that the machine is able to solve the task in its own terms. Beautiful. Yeah, and then you see here, I just execute here the optimized prompt from Opus, and you see here solution 1 and implementation, yeah, you risk, and you say, hey, is this really here in solution 2? And you're not going to believe it, we have a solution 3. And then we just compare here, is it really doing what we have given here in the XML? So, analysis. We have here access implementation feasibility. Next step. Oh, sorry. In the implementation feasibility, we have 3 factors: technical requirement, maturity of existing technologies, potential barriers to adaptation, potential barriers. Next step. Identify required resources. You get the idea. So you can structure this and you can run it 5 times, 3 times, 100 times. Just do whatever you like. If you want that here, for example, one of the factors is filled out by GPT-4 Beautiful or whatever, just ask the system how to do it and the system will tell you the way to the solution. As easy as that. However, be careful because Opus simply ignored some parts of my beautiful advanced XML prompt. And I thought, hey, if I give you an XML structured prompt, you will go step by step and execute it. No. Opus is an autoregressive system, full of hallucination and free to go wherever the system wants to go. You noticed what is missing? I said, hey, in my task there were solution criteria listed. Where are they? Did you miss them in your answer? Here they're again from the prompt. You remember I had distinctiveness, comprehensiveness, and innovativeness. Yes, very strange terms. But you remember now them perfectly. And you know what? Opus comes back and says, hey, you were right. I apologize for missing the specific solution criteria listed in the prompt. Let me address each of those criteria for the 3 solutions I provided. And then now coming back here, it adds now for solution 1, distinctiveness, comprehensiveness, and innovativeness. And for solution it adds, yes, you get the idea. Beautiful. Here's solution 3. Everything is added now. So there you have it. Isn't this beautiful? You think you have a perfect structured prompt. You think you have the perfect template. And then the AI system just decides, hey, I ignore some part of it. Yes, autoregressive systems are beautiful and we still have to check, we still have to use our human beautiful intellect to verify that the machine is doing the right job. Of course, we have now the competition between Opus and GPT-4 Turbo Beautiful. So how did GPT-4 Turbo behave? These terms have been included here in the first run? Well, go to your computer, play with optimized prompt structured, discover it's up to you to design it, ask the machine for help. And I will not give you here this particular answer, only if you are a subscriber who made it till the very end of this video. Here I have GPT-4 in the same LM-Sys arena. Thank you, LM-Sys. And as you can see here, if I give you this advanced for Opus advanced XML prompt to GPT-4 Turbo Beautiful, you see now I have here right from the beginning here, distinctiveness, comprehensiveness, and innovativeness. So you see, it depends on the model. It depends on the intelligence of the model. Intelligent meaning, is it able to perform all the given tasks in the prompt? Yes or no? Will it skip? Will it have hallucination? And. So I hope I've given you an idea how you can construct your perfect prompt on your machine that you pay for, that you have maybe locally, how to find here the best optimized prompt, whatever you use, XML, or invent a language, a structured language. The machine will help you with this. And just be logical, concise, precise, and coherent in your code structure. As easy as this. I hope I see you in my next video.